What's up, guys? All right, for today we have Joe Torrenueva, super legend, men's hair cutter, barber, stylist in Hollywood since the late 50s, early 60s. He started doing hair when he was 18 years old. He's 81, 82 years old now, still doing hair at Salon Republic. I was lucky to befriend him. He actually cut my hair into the awesome style that I have now. He's worked with legends. Here's his story. No further ado, here's the interview that we did, all right? Peace, guys. Hope you enjoy it.
I'm handsome. I'm gonna go get him today. Puts on a $2,000 suit, $500 tie, $800 shoes. Puts a little stuff like this, and he goes, "I'm ready." That's the character.
Today I'm going to be interviewing Joe Torrenueva, and we're going to just start with these questions that I got. I've been doing hair for like 13 years here in Los Angeles. We both work right now at Salon Republic in West Hollywood. And I felt like I could get some great knowledge asking somebody like an icon, a legend that's been doing hair for so long, these awesome questions. I'm gonna start with, can you tell me how you got started in hairdressing?
When I was in grammar school, my stepfather used to come home from the sea. He was a merchant seaman, and to save money, he would cut our hair. And my brother and I got these haircuts. I never quite liked mine. I mean, I didn't say anything, so I'd go into the bathroom and try and fix it with the mirror and everything. And what I do then is I called my cousin George. I said, "George, I'm going to give you this haircut, okay?" So I gave him a haircut. It was great. I said, "George, do exactly the same to me." He did it, and it came out perfect. Anyway, I started doing my mom's hair, my sister's hair, but I had this feeling for men or guys. I read many magazines like from Europe and saw the styles. And let's see, in high school I cut all the high school kids. I used to charge 50 cents, and I knew then I wanted to do this. I just had this sense of doing it, not knowing what I was doing. So I heard of Jay Sebring in 1959. So a friend of mine, his name is William, we went to grammar school, and then we both went to beauty school. William is at one of the other Salon Republics.
Still doing hair?
Oh yeah, he had a shop called Menage a Trois, and there was a woman there. I can't think of her name. Anyway, we both went to beauty school.
Right out of high school?
Yes, but the thing was, we first heard about Jay Sebring. We went and we got our haircut there.
Smart. And
as this fellow was cutting my hair, I said, "This is what I do." He shampooed it first. Guys didn't shampoo their hair in those days. They would go to the barber, they take a little bit off of here, a little here, with the clippers, and that was it. We went, they shampooed your hair, they put conditioner on it, they guided you to the chair and cut your hair wet. And
just a different experience. You're like,
oh yes, and as he was doing it, I said, "This is what I do." But I had no clue of how to start or begin. And anyway,
you didn't know there was like a process or a formula that people
right.
were doing, yeah.
And so I went home, and I'm touching my hair because it had spray on it. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
something new. You were just
and
like,
it was puffy. Anyway, it was almost like.
And what year was this?
1959, 1960.
Dang.
Okay. So. Went to beauty school right away from high school. I was 18 back, and I went to Sebring's, and I said, I'd like, to work here. He said, "Do you have a license?" "Well, I'm going to school." It was a school called Comer and Duran. It was actually the one that he went to, and in those days, it was on Hollywood and Selma. Okay, and
all right here, also.
Yeah, it's close by. And all the top hairdressers at that time, that's the school they went to. Now, I went to beauty school with the intentions of cutting men's hair. you get a better foundation with hair, chemistry, permanence, and color and stuff like that.
So yeah, you went to cosmetology school, but
Cosmetology
you knew
school.
you wanted to do men's hair.
Yes, and so in cosmetology school, a lot of the men would come, and they knew, so they gave them to me. So I would do the men and the women's, but I always wanted to do men's hair.
You just felt more of a natural click to it. You had an eye for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I graduate. I go to Sebring, and I said, Jay, I have.
And he remembered you because you had came to get a haircut from them. So
yeah, I went to actually someone else.
okay, but you went to the salon.
But
yeah.
he had heard about me in beauty school. There's this young kid that's doing guys' hair, and he's pretty good. The word
Yes.
gets
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
So he said, bring a couple of models. So I did. I cut them, and he said, that's good. I'd like to hire you. I said, great.
What was beauty school like for you back then?
It was incredible. I was one of the few straight guys.
Yeah.
So
Same. I was the only straight guy in mine. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was great. A lot of friends.
Yeah, we had 75 girls, 3 guys. I was the only straight guy. Yeah.
So I had friends all over. There was some incredible work being done, and it was you can almost feel it. Stuff was happening there.
It was exciting.
Yeah, there was a woman named Beverly, and she won Miss Teenage Fair. You know, they had a contest for teenagers. And one of the things, they give you a gift certificate and you go get your hair at the school.
At the school, yeah.
She later became Beverly Sassoon's wife.
Oh,
She was
no
beautiful,
way.
yeah.
I met Beverly Sassoon. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the fellow that was cutting her hair was Joe Atsumi, great Japanese hairdresser. And so these are the things that were happening. There was great looking women coming in because they knew that there was some hot hairdressers there.
At the school?
Then, yes.
Dang.
But then we had the little old ladies that would come and you do the Italian top, 4 back and 2 on the side like this, and then you do that little bubble
Roller
thing.
set, yeah.
Yeah, and so at night I was a musician, so I was playing music at night, and then I'd come during the day and go to school. But
And that was your job at night as a musician?
Yeah, I was a musician, professional musician.
I was a musician too before, but not professionally at all. But yeah.
And so I did this, even in high school I was in the musicians union. I played conga and I sang with the top Latin bands in California back then.
That's awesome. I'm half Cuban, so I love that stuff. Yeah.
I'm half Puerto Rican.
Awesome.
You
Yeah.
heard of Celia Cruz?
Of course, Celia Cruz. Yeah.
I worked with her and Tito Puente,
Yeah, of course.
Tito Rodriguez, Machito,
Wow.
Orquesta Nuevo Ritmo de Cuba.
Wow.
Yeah, these are all.
My whole family is like experts on this. Like you could name all those, and my whole family would just be mouth dropped. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Let's do. How has the men's grooming industry changed over the decades?
The decades of back in the 50s, that's when I remember, because I was hearing names like in New York, Rudy, Eddie's, Jerry's. These were all top barbers, and they were doing like the Jack Pars, not Johnny Carson, he came later, but all the game show hosts, all of that, they were doing that back in New York. And those guys were good, so some of the customers would come out here, I go to so-and-so and so-and-so. And then they started hearing my name. And so anytime any of the actors or personalities would come, they sent them to me or to Jay Sebring. So I saw the pomade on the hair and really neat and quarter part back. And then from there, that was the 50s. The 60s, when, Elvis Presley used to come in the shop and Jay did his hair. And so you saw that look, the real smooth. Okay?
Yeah.
Almost like the Martin Sheen thing. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing was, the people would see this, and he was getting a lot of publicity. Okay. He didn't advertise, he got publicity. And that's where you get your business. Not from advertising, but from the third person saying, you gotta go to this guy Carlos. He is the best. That's better than me putting an ad saying, come to Torrenueva or Little Joe's. You get the best services of that. Let somebody else do it. So when you have publicity, they talk about you. They put the stuff in, and then people read that, they say, yes. So
that word of mouth is always the strongest.
The word of mouth is, and that's how I built my business, by word of mouth. I have a client in the chair, and I'm nurturing him. The haircut's there already. He likes that. He knows that. But then you find out who he is and what he's all about. And if you like that, you would want someone that he would send to you. So you tell him as you're cutting his hair, and he knows, okay, you have a family, you're always on time, you have all the basic foundation of, I want to be with this person. Then you say, look, if you know anybody out there that would appreciate my work, you know, and you know I always run on time, and I respect my client's time. And he says, it might not happen for a while, but then one day he says, you know, a friend of mine just moved from New York, and I told him about you. He's going to be calling you. So he's already vetted the guy, the client. And he comes in and he sits down, and he's halfway there already because his friend
already gave word of mouth. Yeah.
And then you start working on him, and there's a common ground there.
With the friend at least, for sure.
Already. And you're asked.
The energies are close,
Yes.
you know. Yeah.
And what happens is you're touching his hair, looking in the mirror, how do you like it, this, and you're brushing it a whole bunch of different ways, and you notice him looking, when you brush it this way, he says, I never brushed my hair that way, it looks pretty good. And you don't say anything, okay? Then you ask him, okay, what do you think? And by this time he'll say, you do whatever you think. That's how you do it. You don't say, oh yeah, I envision this, and I think, oh yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do. What does the person want?
Yeah.
You know. And so he asks you, you know, you're the expert, or I trust your judgment. Phil says you're the best. Just do it. But by this time, you know that if he's an attorney, or if he's a business person, like a business person, or even an attorney. Like today, he's not going to have a fade and, you know, all of that.
Yeah.
So you have to
read their vibe a little bit and know what they're into.
Yeah. And Carlos, these are basic things, but these are things that you have to go through.
Yeah.
You can't just start doing this, and there has to be an answer for all of it. So you have to almost guide this person in, this is why you should shampoo your hair often, because the natural oils fill in those pores, and then it's difficult for the hair to come out, and then it's almost covered. Back then they had scalp peels where you, like in this area here, that they put the scalp peel and you go into this light or something, and within a few days it starts peeling, and if you could see the pores, and if it's alive, it'll grow. If it's not alive, it's not going to grow.
Wow.
So, yeah.
If you could go back and talk to yourself as a young student in beauty school, what would you say?
Discipline. Discipline is one of the great ones. A lot of hairdressers burn out within 10 years.
Yeah, let's talk about that actually. Like, what's like, this was just, I'm winging this just off the great question we're going. Like, how have you been doing hair now for 6 years?
Yes, professionally, 1962, I got my license.
Dang. So 19, yeah, so.
And I was working 3 jobs. I was doing music, and then I was working at another shop in the afternoon. I did hair during the day till 4:30, 8 to 4:30, and then or 4 o'clock, and then at 4:30 I went to this friend. Actually, the guy that cut my hair originally, he was still friends with Jay Sebring. He broke his arm. Jay asked me, "Little Joe, Art broke his arm, and I just want to help him out. So why don't you go?" It was where the Troubadour is.
Oh yeah,
right next door.
Yeah, right
He
there
said
on San Juan.
he has a nice clientele. Go and he'll give you 60%. You just give him 40 and to help him out. And so
To do his clients, yeah.
yeah, and
Wow.
so I did that, and then I would go from 9 o'clock till 1:30 in the band. Okay, so the discipline, I worked a lot of hours. I had a lot of energy. I also
You were excited. You enjoyed.
oh yeah. I've always been very positive. It's like there isn't anything that I don't see things as. I see them as a challenge, not as
Like a burden or something.
No. Studying with Bruce Lee, use no way as a way. In other words, somebody says, "Okay, you got to do it this way." Well, what if you're doing it that way and then something happens? Are you going to stop? No, you have to find other ways.
And I feel like haircutting has a lot of that, where you're like, oh, here's a problem. How do I fix this?
Okay,
Yeah.
so when you say in your head, okay, I'm going to do it this length, that, and you pick it up and you cut, and then you say,
Maybe I'm
you know,
gonna short.
yeah, then you have to alter everything.
For sure.
Whereas you just go and something happens, you flow with it. You adjust.
Yeah. It's a lot of adjusting, yes.
And as you're adjusting, you're doing it, you're free. You're not stifled by, well, I gotta do this, that, and that length there. So isn't it nice when you can, like you say, just cut my hair.
Yeah.
Just, then I could do it and feel, as opposed to, well, he wants 3 inch or whatever, he wants that.
But I feel like that's the best when a hairdresser goes. Even to me, I love going to other hairdressers and letting them kind of do their thing. And I've already seen, I know a little bit about them, but I also know the best way to go in is just like, do something cool. Like, and again, I'm also, which is so great, and I even tell my clients that I'm the least pickiest, like where it's okay. Like, I'm okay with variety, where I know some people, like I have a couple clients that are like crazy perfectionists, where they're just like, why isn't this hair laying the way it was right before? And I'm like, you're making stuff up. I'm like, because when we correct one problem, it creates another problem, So everything has, and it's always going to be different. I even tell men, I'm like, women's hair is easier to make it, to replicate it the same, but men's is so visual. It's so much shorter, so I'm like, I even tell my clients, I'm like, I'm never gonna give you the exact same haircut over. It's gonna vary a little bit, I'll try to get it as close as we can, but it's never gonna be exactly the same. So, let me see.
One of the things with the haircut that I learned from Jay, I would cut the hair almost as short as possible without it sticking up.
Yeah.
And that breaking point right there, that's almost what I wanted to get to each time. Like a bamboo is like this. If you cut it here, it's still gonna bend, but you cut it here, it's gonna still
stay up. Of course, yeah.
So sometimes when I had the time, and I would just cut and cut and cut and cut and cut. Bruce said, hack away the unessential until the truth is revealed unobstructed. So you get a block, that you're gonna, and you start chiseling. And you chisel off everything that isn't necessary. That's how the sculptors do it. And then what's left, no more could have been done to it. And that's, so now for the next time, I did it, okay?
Yeah.
So now in your heart, your perfection. So that keeps you on your toes. You have to go back to, because you had him looking great. Now you could do that again. And you keep that in your head.
Yeah.
Like people say, I've cut over 110,000 heads, okay? People say, how do you remember? You just do. As soon as they come in,
It comes back, you remember, yeah.
Yeah.
I have some clients that I haven't seen in years, and they'll come back sometimes because they live out of state, and they'll see me, and I'll remember exactly how I did their cut, even though I haven't seen them in like 3 years or something like that. Do you want to talk a little bit about the like celebrities, like Martin Sheen, and how you got that? Like, I'm curious on that. That one's just on me. Like, even I got one right here where it said, "Do you still cut Martin Sheen's hair? What's your relationship with him? Like after all these years?"
Okay, with Martin, I met him in the late 60s. He was in New York. He was an actor. I was cutting this other actor, Bo Bridges. Jeff Bridges, Bo Bridges, his brother. And they did a television movie in New York. And so Martin was coming out here, so Bo told him, hey, there's a guy in LA that you would really like. He's a good guy. So Martin came to me, and since then, every movie that you've seen, Badlands, which is a cult movie with Sissy Spacek, that was my haircut. I travel with him all over the world, and the first thing we do is we have to find a church, Catholic church. We're both Catholic, and we've been arrested together. In Las Vegas, protesting nuclear, all of that. He's a good man. He introduced me to all of the Cesar Chavez family. I'm very close with all of them. I never got to meet Cesar, but after he passed, I'm still very close with them. And anyway, there's that connection. But Martin is just a good man. What was it? West Wing. I do his hair like every 2 weeks. All the television shows that I've cut, which have been over like 200, the actors usually would get their haircut every 2 weeks to keep it consistent. And so it's difficult matching,
Yes.
For the getaway with Steve McQueen, I was in Texas every 2 weeks, and it takes place over, the whole movie takes place in 2 days, but the hair has to look good. So when they hire someone, you have to know how to match and stuff. You can't just go, I'm going to give them,
And you're styling it and everything, and you just have to match up for scenes through the days.
Yeah, the thing is, with my haircuts, whichever way they move it, it still looks good. So you can give a haircut. There's a lot of people that give haircuts and then they put tons of product and it looks great.
Yeah.
But when that product comes out, in about a week and a half, the haircut doesn't look good. My haircuts sometimes will last a month, 2 months, 2.5 months. It gets longer and fuller, but it still keeps the shape. And so I would tell the people, look, you don't have to come back that often. And they would like that. Whereas now a lot of them come in. I have a few that come in every 10 days, but it's more for
the relationship you build.
Yeah, I had one fellow that used to go to his psychiatrist every day, and he would come to me to just comb out his hair. And after I'd comb it, he'd say, I'd ask him, what do you think? He said, I don't know, what do you think? Well, what do you think? Yeah, never ask him, what do you think? You just say, God, that looks great on you. Oh, yeah. Okay. So then he started coming to me more often than the psychiatrist.
Because you get a haircut and it's probably more inexpensive than the psychiatrist. I tell my clients the same thing, yeah.
So in the way I built the clientele, Jay Sebring, who was getting a ton of publicity, and the shop, all these people were coming to him, and he can't do everyone. So he would pick and choose. And then he'd say, if I'm out of town, little Joe will take care of you. So when he hired me, he said, okay, 3-year contract, 50%, 60% the first year. No, 50% the first year, 55 and then 60 percentage, right? And then you shampoo for 6 months, right? I shampooed for 2 weeks, and then I was in his room, and like his clients would come in, and I would shampoo them for him. Okay, even if I had a client, I would shampoo for him. He was my boss. You're making him look good. He's the man. And so when he was away, a guy like Henry Fonda or Robert Wagner says, hey, I'd like an appointment with Jay. I'm sorry, he's out of town. He's doing such and such. Well, what about the little, what's that little thing? No, the little guy. No, little Joe. Oh, yeah. Well, he's good, isn't he? Yeah, and he works in Jay's room. Yeah, he seems very quiet, nice, yeah. 19 years old, I'm doing all these heavyweights.
Dang.
I didn't have time to think. All I did was, Joe, you have Paul Newman at 4 o'clock and then Steve McQueen. I'm just doing it.
Dang.
You know, and
oh man,
I didn't have time
to get her
you know,
to think
said,
about it.
Hey, the Beach Boys are coming in. David does Dennis, and Joe does Carl Wilson.
Wow.
Frankie Avalon. You know, Jay cut Frankie Avalon, then I cut Frankie. Jay did Fabian. And so he would give them, and when I got my shop, that's what I would do. I had my clients, and then new people would come in, and I'd say, Carlos is really good for you because I'm increasing my rates, and okay, but Carlos knows your type of hair. And so you start building them. That's how you do that.
Yeah.
But that's how you keep them. You don't say, well, I'm increasing my rates. Well, I'm sorry. But so I would ease them into the price range.
Yeah.
I started at $6 cutting. First time is $7.50 because you have to educate them. They sit in the chair and you have to tell them, okay, you gotta shampoo your hair, and you got to use this brush and this shampoo, and then you give them a lesson. So that's why it was a little more. Then so $6. Then I went up to $7.50. Then I went up to $10. Then to $15. That was at Jay's. And then when I opened my own shop in 1966, when I was 23, I guess.
Wow. So young.
Yeah, I went to the bank, I got a loan, City National. I told this friend of mine, Tony, I want to open a shop. Do you have credit? I said, well, I pay Olivia's ring, do you pay on time? I said, yeah. He says, okay, go to the bank, ask for Grice, a City National up the block, tell them what you want to do. And so that's what I did. I went up there and I said, Mr. Grice, I'm Joe Torrenueva. I'm going to open my shop. Where are you opening it? 9,000 Sunset. That's right up the block.
Okay, there,
yeah. A friend of mine, Ronnie Buck, owns it. Another client of mine built it, Sheldon Pollack. And then Elliot Fields, who's a big floor guy, he's going to put in my parquet floor as a gift. 2 of my clients are decorators. They're going to decorate it as a gift. And I have all these people that will say they'll follow me. And he says, well, what do you need? I said, maybe 3,000. He said, I think you're gonna need a cushion. I'd say 5,000 for everything you want to do. How many people are you bringing? I said, there's 2 others, myself, a manicurist, and a desk person. He said, could you afford 271? Yeah. Handshake. Now, I don't know if that client of mine...
Can you afford $271 a month? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
okay,
for the rent.
For the rent, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is in the 60s, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if that client co-signed or just said the kid is good for it. But, and I'm still in touch with that client. Later on I found out he was a billionaire that he just saw in me, you know, that I could do it. It's just.
And he just told you, he's like, go do that.
Yeah. Go to yeah. And he drove a Plymouth, very under the radar, powder blue car, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had all these people. My first day, I had 15 people, and I was booked up after that. And then from there, I increased my rates like once. It was funny because they said, Joe, you just increased your rates. I know, but look at that. I'm really, really busy, and I'm working so many hours, and I don't want to lose anyone. Oh, you're not going to lose me. You work.
Of course.
Not you're working it, but you're being honest.
Yeah, of course.
And I usually tell them while they were in the shampoo bowl, I would tell Bob Barker, okay? Bob, yes. Bob, as of April, yes. I'm going to increase my rates. Joe! I stopped saying, oh, Joe, you could increase your rates. What do you charge now? See?
Yeah.
And it was almost kind of like a game. But at that point, I went from 15 to 25, 35, 50, 65, 95, 115, 135. That was back then.
Dang.
And I delivered, you know. They would read about me in the papers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and they knew they were going to the right place.
Yeah.
And then I moved from 9,000 to Sunset Plaza, right on the corner. There I had, I think like 2,000 feet, and I had 7 or 8 people. I had a porter.
What's a porter?
A porter's like a young man with a white shirt and a bow tie,
Mm-hmm.
and he shines shoes and brush you off, put your coat on, and I always had coffee and donuts and stuff like that.
But you guys did everything there. You guys did women and men's hair, or just men's?
Men, but some of the. You know, I had
Women's
some women that came in.
Yes.
Yes.
It wasn't a barber shop.
It was a okay.
Torrenueva, yeah.
At 9,000 Sunset, it was a cosmetology shop, licensed. And I had 2 guys, they all had a cosmetology license. The barbers wanted to put us out of business. They didn't like the fact that we were getting so much publicity, charging more money, and they thought we were taking business away from them. So in 67, 68, there was an assemblyman from Orange County, Ken Corey. He was an assemblyman in the 69th district. I told him of what was going on, and he said, you know, that's wrong. You should be able to cut hair, doesn't matter, men or women. So he got a bill passed that said, if you're like Jay Sebring or Torrenueva, and you've been doing hair for X amount of time, you should be allowed to take the barber test. You don't have to go to school as long as you pass. So Jay and I started a union, a guild, International Hair Designers Guild. He was president, I was vice president. And we got this bill passed in Sacramento. So there was a window of like 15 months. So it was on a Monday that I went and I took the test and I passed. Now I have my barber's license, but I studied, you know.
Yeah.
That Saturday was this day that Jay was murdered with Sharon Tate in the Manson.
Yeah.
So he never got the tape.
Wow.
But that's what we created. So now, that said, if you have a shop, you can have barbers and cosmetologists working in the same. Before you couldn't do that. So when I opened my shop on Sunset Plaza, I had a barber on one side and I had 2 licenses. And now we made it possible for this couldn't have happened back then.
Yeah.
And also, see, a barber has to have water 3 feet from his station. Cosmetologists could have the shampoo bowl in another room, which they do. But there has to be running water. Okay, there's all sorts of things like that. But now, everybody does everything.
Yeah. No, it's just, dang, that's so wild. That's so crazy.
So these people that were coming in, I did the manager of the Grateful Dead. And then he brought the Dead into me. The Grateful Dead, you know, Jerry Garcia, Big Ben, all those guys.
No, and even back then, like when you were getting these celebrities, was this through like union or anything? Did you want to work on set, or was it just more word of mouth, or was it Jay Sebring too? Jay Sebring was like very well known, right? He was like, yeah. And so just that connection was just like you guys are all in the same clique, like, or was there like
we were like the only game in town, so people weren't doing that. They were giving good haircuts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we were doing the producers, directors, and the heads of studio. So there was a movie called Funny Girl, Barbara Streisand, Omar Sharif. It was, I think, Paramount or Columbia. I did the top makeup guy, Ben Lane, and the Westmores. These were all top makeup people. A guy named Ray Stark, who produced the movie, he said, I want Joe to cut Omar's hair and I want him to cut it on the set. A lot of the hairdressers in the union, they would get pissed if people would, you know, they're not in the union. I kept under the radar, you know, they wanted me, so I was kind of like protected. So I went and I worked at NBC on Mondays. The way I got that job, again, one of Jay's friends who was a hair cutter, he was working at NBC doing The People. He had a pet lion. The lion bit his hand, and again, Joe, can you help Buddy out? Okay, so I went, Buddy was a friend of mine too, and he couldn't cut whatever. I think he might have taken one trip too many, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how I got Bob Barker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Bob Barker was doing a show there, and that's over. I did Bob Barker's hair every 2 weeks for over 50 years.
Wow.
He was the best. He was just a decent, down to earth guy.
Yeah.
I was in New Orleans with Charlie Bronson.
Because Bob Barker's studio was right here, right? On like the
That was CBS.
CBS,
Yeah. And when I was in New Orleans, my friend Larry Gordon, great producer, he did Field of Dreams, Predator, Die Hard. He said, I want you to cut Charlie Bronson's hair. We're doing a movie, and you'll get screen credits, of course. So he flew me down there, and there I am. His hair, Charlie's hair was down to here. He had just finished a movie called Chatos Land, where he plays this Indian, okay? So Charlie looks at me and he said, is he gonna cut my hair? What does he know about hair? You know, I'm so young, and that was the whole thing. That's one of the challenges, that I look so young, that does he know what he's doing? How much experience has he had? So that was one of the challenges, like you asked, so I didn't say much, I listened, and I did my job. And my work spoke for me. I didn't have to tell them, well, I do this, that. No, I just was very quiet. And also being very quiet, people start to open up. They will.
Yeah.
So, and as you know, you can read people if they want to talk, if they don't, if something's going on. But then
all the time,
they know that it's a safe place for them. You know.
When they're here, yeah.
Yes.
No, I was gonna ask you. All right, you're probably the first person I met that's been cutting hair this long. And my question is like, have you ever taken any breaks from it? Have you ever like stopped for portions of time, or have you been cutting hair?
The only time actually I didn't stop, but I've had, for some reason, things on my left side of my body. lost my hearing from Meniere's disease, okay? Lost this finger not too long ago, so I'm out. This left shoulder, rotator cuff from, also working out.
Yeah.
Knee.
Knee issue,
And then another thing. But
no, you never like veered careers. You've never been like, hey, I'm gonna do something else, or
no, I was doing other things, but still respecting my job. Like I did. I'm in SAG, Screen Actors Guild, so I did a lot of acting too.
Okay.
I'm in stuff there. I was a musician during that time, and also the martial arts. And now I'm a facilitator. I don't know if I told you that.
No, I don't know. In what? Or
in church, I'm a minister.
Okay, awesome.
And that happened as a result of my son died when he was 50.
When he was how?
50.
50.
Yeah, drugs and alcohol.
Wow.
And so I went to counseling, or it wasn't even counseling. I got to several different, my wife and I, several different places, and nothing really moved us. But my friend Martin Sheen said there's a community in St. Monica's, because that's the parish I was living in, because I go to church every morning at 6:30. He said there's a community there that they have a program that would help you. So I went, and it's a 10-week course. And they guide you in your grief. About the 5th week, I told my wife, I want to do this. And she said, what? I said, I want to be a facilitator. I'm not even thinking about myself, but I'm more concerned about the people that are with me right now. And I feel I could help them. And all of the stuff that I've done over the years with people in connection helps. The acting helped, just the empathy, the compassion, caring about your clients.
Yeah.
And so I became a facilitator, and we don't counsel. We don't tell you what to do. What we do is we give you the tools, because you know what to do inside. It's just difficult. Grief, it wants to own you. So you need to embrace the grief and say, is this all you got? I can handle you. And once you do that, you're free. I could teach you how to swim on land, but until you get in the water and start, you won't know. So you have to do this. You have to feel the grief. Yeah, you can't just say, okay, I'm over it. You never get over it, but it changes. And that's all the stuff that we talked about earlier. Nothing compares as much to what I'm doing now. And it's just...
So you've always cut hair, but you've always you've done something else. You've always been busy. I can tell from your stories that you've been a busy man like your whole life,
Like, I'll be doing, like Aaron Spelling, you heard of him?
Yeah.
Okay, I worked for him a lot.
Producer, he made all the TV shows and all that.
Yeah, I was on Melrose Place, Charmed, 90210, stuff like that.
Awesome. How do you stay inspired creatively this long? Like, how do you still enjoy it after all these years?
Every time I do a haircut, it's like the first time I'm cutting it. I don't say, oh yeah, I know. I never say that. When I meet somebody, I look forward to coming here, to seeing you and the people here, the energy. Yeah. I'm curious. I won't retire. Everybody asks, well, hey, and a lot of the clients are a little nervous because I've been going to Tennessee quite a bit. My daughter wants to move there, and they say, well, what would happen? I said, and so anyway, it's not over. I want to pass what I know to any of the young people that I could see in them. I wanna look.
You want to inspire. It's inspiring to inspire to like give back. No, and you're right. Like even I still agree that when I'm at home and I do nothing, I feel like those are my most depressing days. Like that's when my brain just starts thinking like, what are you doing with your life? Is this right? But when I come here, like as much as like some days it does feel like, oh man, I gotta do like 7 haircuts today, or I'm gonna be like tired today or drained. But I love being around this energy. I love coming here for the most part. Like this is where I shine in that sense, you know, and this is where I feel like I have purpose, you know, and
a lot of I just get that energy. Like I talk to everybody.
yeah,
I know, and sometimes I have to connect.
yeah,
You have to do something every day for someone that can never repay you back.
yeah,
So you just do it. Nobody knows about it, and you do it. You do it for your salvation, not so people could see it or something like that. And I always see the people that other people don't see, the Ophelias, the Starbucks young girls, the girls that clean up here, and they always smile.
yeah,
You know, I always, and they're we're the same.
Of course,
you know?
of course.
And I never see myself
Above or whatever, yeah.
like I've had. You heard of the Purology?
Yes, the company, yeah.
Yeah. That guy came to me for haircut. Jim Markham. He was the one that took over Sebrings or whatever.
Oh.
But a lot of these guys come. They said, "Do you give classes?" I have, you know, like back in other states and stuff, where people have come to me, and I said, you know, the guys that live around, you know, the best thing, just come and get a haircut by me, pay my $250 or whatever, and ask me anything you want. I'll show you anything you want. You know, I'm not afraid to secrets. I'll show you all the secrets. It's up to them to do it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's when I was working aside next to Jay and stuff like that. I never felt there was any competition. I know who I was.
Yeah.
And he respected that. When I left him, I asked if I could leave. I didn't leave in the middle of the night like a lot of hairdressers do, and they take a whole bunch of guys. So I said, Jay, I'd like to open my own place. Okay? Look, I'm not gonna solicit any of the clients that you gave me. I'll just,
Keep the ones I had.
that I got on my own. Okay. Now, you know what he was thinking? Okay, the guy has balls. He told me. Am I gonna say, no, I don't want you to go? When I said, Jay, I'd like to talk to you, he already knew, you know. As a parent or as an owner of stuff, I know when employees come up to me, says, Joe, I gotta talk to you, you know. And I listen. She says, yeah, you know, the manicurist, she's really good. I said, okay, tell me. Well, she does this and that. Really? Okay. Joe, I'm sorry. Hey, no. I'll take care of it. Don't worry. He goes on, and he feels good. He told Joe. Other people saw something's going on. I never did anything about it. People pick up on your vibes, and it was taken care of. And that's how I rule or manage my shop. I was so young, and a lot of these people older than me. I said, this is what I'm gonna do. You're good. You do what you have to do, and follow my lead. The way I treat people, you know, they come in. I don't just walk into the room. I guide them. Carlos, here, come, because Carlos never been here before. He's, you know, he wants to know where he's going. Have a seat here.
Yeah.
You see people that they come in and they just walk to their room and
their clients don't know what to do.
Yeah. You have the guy to have a seat here, have this.
Yeah.
These are little tiny things. So like if you'd be talking to me and you'd say, well, what was Dustin Hoffman for The Graduate? You can see that picture. But lengthwise,
Just want something you would do your way, like old Hollywood haircut, like how I've had every style, everything works on me for the most part. Like this is awesome watching you cut.
you notice how I pull on the hair?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep
some
the
people
tension.
do this, and there's buckling in there, so you're not
Yeah.
gonna get that. So
Yeah, you keep
have
awesome
to,
tension, yeah.
take small partings.
Yeah.
What you want to get is people with the money.
For sure.
I mean, that's like the
For sure. 100%.
okay. And so you have, like, you know who Rick Caruso is?
Yes.
Okay, I do his hair. Okay, and it's like every 10 days or 2 weeks, and I go to wherever he's at, and that's a good piece of change.
Yeah.
Have somebody right up the block. You know, 2.5 Men.
Yeah, the show? With
Yeah,
Charlie Sheen?
the president of that company.
Oh, wow.
I do him every 2 weeks.
Wow.
I want to make as much money as you can doing not necessarily the least amount of work, but
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yes.
So that when you feel good as opposed.
Oh, I barely scraped by today. I'm exhausted and drained, and I don't feel like I got my worth.
The haircut, the method that he taught me, he called it a fox cut. And you start here, there's 3 sections, 1, 2, 3, and then you come around this way, taking a small part, then you go this way, and your guide is always right there, okay? And but from there you could go, you know, whatever.
You're kind of just like elevating out, right? Kind of, but over directing it too, yeah.
Yes. And your hair on this side is it's a lot fuller.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You could do all of that, but this method that I do, it's easy for me.
Yeah.
So if
It's awesome, dude. It's already like really great. What size shears are those? Those like 7 or 8, 9?
no, I have at home. I have a bunch of them that need to be. Have always used Filipino shears.
Yeah.
These are small ones, but I usually use 6.5, 7,
Yeah.
7.5.
And where would you suggest, like, where do you still get shears, or do you have like the ones that you've had?
I just had the one that I have.
Yes.
I've always looked for Filipino shears. Martin Sheen brought me back about 50 from the Philippines.
Oh wow.
But they were crude, but they're good. Yeah, that's why the magazines were really important. Or a lot of my people were in the clothes business, so they'd go to Europe and come back, and then they would tell me, "This is going on. Check this out. Check this. Look at this." You know, most of the guys that I worked with are gone. They're dead. Because if I was 19 and they were in their 30s, they're gone.
Yeah. No, dude, it's crazy. So you're 80. Yeah.
81. I'll be 82.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm turning 42. That's crazy. That's crazy that you're still doing hair, like,
And I
so
mean,
awesome.
well, you see me around here.
Yeah.
I walk. Well, I go to the bathroom a lot because of.
I mean, yeah, I can go. Yeah, I was just watching you cut with those shears. I'm like, I want to get a longer shear now.
These are short for me.
Yeah, those would be my longest. This is cool how you do this with both combs.
Huh?
This is cool how you do it with 2 brushes. How you brush it
Yeah,
down.
you do 2 combs?
No, I don't. But-
Okay. The reason why I do this is I'm seeing everything fall as opposed to doing.
That's
and
what I
coming
do.
back here, that I could see it right away.
Yeah.
And I could work quicker seeing it as opposed to this side and then that side. His name is Gary Perot. You heard of Bosley?
Yeah.
I used to do Bosley's hair. And
Oh, wow.
I did all the people in the early days of transplanting, like Bob Barker, that's all transplanted hair.
Really?
Yeah. And if I didn't get him when I did, this would all be bald, because that's all transplanted up there.
Wow. And where did he do it? Here? He did it through Bosley?
No, not Bosley, because Bosley himself wasn't that good. It was a couple of his people were good.
Oh wow.
And I used to do
But it was here
shares.
in Los Angeles you got the transplant.
Yeah, the first one was Dr. Samuel Ayers. He was the one who did Sinatra and,
Sinatra too had a transplant?
oh yeah.
Oh my God,
Then,
tell me all the tea.
oh yeah, there's a ton of them. I sent them hundreds of thousands of dollars because they charge a lot.
Yeah.
These guys.
Joe, like it's crazy to see how well you still got it. Like
But-
just like the tension, everything, like the cut's looking great. It looks amazing already.
No Jim Morrison, the Doors.
Yeah, of course.
That was Jay's haircut.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's awesome, yeah. Dang man. What a time to do hair.
It was unreal.
Like the first rock star haircutters, you know, like I feel like that was like a cool time where like again you started getting cool recognition where people were probably like, how are you cutting celebrities? Like this is so cool, you know, like
I mean, I was in the LA Times all the time. Elle, Vogue, Bazaar, McCall's, Women's Wear Daily. I got a lot of clients from Women. You heard of Women's Wear Daily? It's the paper of the fashion.
mm-hmm.
And so I had a big article in there, and I said I don't do women's hair. I said I might do one. More women called for that. You know,
Because I might do one, yeah.
yeah.
We all want
but it
one.
was the short hair that I was doing.
Yeah.
See, when they know that if they can't have it, they want it.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Joe, this is exactly what I wanted. The haircut, I'm dead serious. Like you couldn't have nailed this any better. Yeah, or whatever product you used to on your clients to get those
yeah.
styles.
The movies, like the Graduate, you heard of that with Dustin Hoffman?
Yeah.
Yeah, the director, writer, and producer, friends of mine, and they wanted me to cut this actor Dustin Hoffman's hair. He had just finished a movie called Midnight Cowboy.
Of course, Midnight Cowboy, John Voight. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he had to look like a college kid. And so, or breathless.
And it was similar to this, huh?
Yeah. There were haircuts that I would give that I never used the blending shears. Or
Yeah.
thinning shears.
Yeah.
We used them as blending, not going in.
Yes.
It was the last quarter inch that.
Just soften a little.
Yeah. Because I cut the hairs like that, I cut it, and it's like that, right?
Yeah.
And so use the blending shears right there, so the hair could go.
Yeah, just opens it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll put product in, but just so you could see the shape.
Awesome.
Okay.
So good.
So this will come like that.
Yep. Yeah.
That shape will be there. There's
Yeah,
enough to go there.
For sure.
Let's see the rest of it.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. I love it.
And this side here.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking fantastic. I love it. Perfect. You couldn't have made it more perfect than what I was like.
No. I was excited and very nervous.
No, I know.
No,
Like, no, but you're right. Like, I get it. Whenever I have to cut another hairdresser's hair, like, I do get more nervous because I'm like, no. And this was like exactly like I just wanted like a good scissor cut from you. I wanted to see your techniques, how you did it, like.
So in that cut is the box cut. I alter it because of my hands,
Yeah.
but it's like 1, 2, 3, then 4 that way, and then this.
This looks so great. Okay, let me try a little forming cream. I'll just add a little bit just to get it a little, but I don't want to mess up that particular shape.
She better hold on to you tonight, man.
I know, huh? Yeah, this looks awesome, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, great.
Yeah, that I. Sometimes I amaze myself.
Yeah, dude, this looks sick, dude. This looks so great.
Wait, sick is good, right?
Sick is great.
Okay,
yes,
yeah, you gotta tell me these words.
Yeah.
Ooh.